Video.
Mashpee TV, whatever, I guess that's what, all right, so anyways, recognizing quorum, the chair of the Mashpee Planning Board meeting is called to order. Today is Wednesday, November 6th, 2024, 7 p.m. We're at Mashpee Town Hall in the Bocoit Meeting Room, 16 Great Neck Road North, Mashpee, Mass. 02649. We're being broadcast live on local channels 8 and 1072. Streamed live on Mashpee website, Mashpee Town website at www.mashpeema.gov/channel-8. So I'd like to welcome everybody and invite you to stand with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We have meeting minutes from October 16th. So there's two types of minutes in here. One is our public session, one's our executive session. The executive session are not public. We can approve them now, but they won't get posted or shared with the public. Has everybody read them? Does anybody have any comments?
Nope.
I motion to approve the October 16 public meeting minutes as approved, as written rather.
Leave them out here.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'm going to abstain from those, Chrissy, just because I wasn't at a lot of that. Okay. Then there's an executive session for October 16th. Anybody have any edits?
No, I motion we approve the executive session minutes as written.
So, second.
Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed, abstaining? Okay. Okay. So we have a 7:10 public hearing, so we have some time. Is there anybody here from the public that would like to speak? General, okay. If there is a matter that you want to speak on that's on the agenda, just make sure I know, that's all. Besides the public hearing. Okay. Old business, review and signature of the tripartite agreement release for Aquay Highlands subdivision. So what I heard was that it's my understanding that we did approve this,
Yeah,
and Tom was gonna find the minutes.
The minutes are attached to it that, from the meeting where you approved it, subject to getting $2,000.
Okay.
But I
Did we
don't
get the
know-
$2,000 cash surety?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know when that might have come in.
Okay, so in order for us to sign the tripartite agreement release,
But now, the last time you talked about that, I mean, seems like Ed was satisfied that everything was done, so I'm not sure what the 2,000 is for. But I did attach the minutes where you voted on it.
so we need to confirm that
That was in
the punch
July.
list is done from Ed before we sign this. Does that sound right?
Well, put it this way, if I could get you to sign a few copies of it, I'll hold on to them until I figure
Okay.
out whether or not the
So I
$2,000 came in, or whether Ed thinks it's still necessary.
So I'd accept a motion to physically sign the tripartite agreement release as presented, for it to be released by the consulting town planner, only if
$2,000.
the $2,000 cash surety was provided to the town, or the punch list, the remaining punch list for Aquay Highlands, as described by board engineer Ed Pesci, has been completed.
So
I
moved.
couldn't tell from the minutes what the $2,000 was for.
Well, he's still got a big pile of dirt there that's been taken
Is
out.
that there just to make sure they get rid of the dirt? Is that what we?
I think that's what it was, you know.
Or was
that's-
it for
It sounded
grass
familiar, but I
growing or
can't
something?
No, it's too much dirt. I mean,
Remember that.
they had two big piles, they got rid of one.
Ed does. Ed
Ed does.
Pesci does.
Ed does.
He'll know. Ed will know.
Yeah,
So there's a motion. Has it been
second.
second? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed or abstaining?
So we all gotta sign this?
Yeah, town clerk, me, the developer. Oh, and the registry, so yeah, 4 copies if you could. That's basically standard for everything.
Let me borrow your pen, I got a
You
pencil
all
here.
have a blank copy, so get 4 of them signed, I'd appreciate it.
How many do we have in circulation?
Yeah, to sign this
1,
one.
2, 3, we need yours too.
This one here?
4.
There. That goes down that way, Tom.
That's for Karen.
No, I erased, there you go.
This one is.
We have at least 4.
Yeah, it's,
By the way, tomorrow's my last day on my contract. I try to get done as much as I can.
Tom,
the $2,000 is a contingent if the seating doesn't take, so it's for reseating. It's in the paragraph above.
two of them now.
I'm gonna have to do the grass.
So we have to wait for the grass to grow or not grow.
I'm gonna fill in the date, but that's all set.
Slather it on, okay. I think that I will, do you have a public hearing notice for Michael to read in?
Public meeting.
Not really, it's a continuation.
Okay, so he doesn't have to, we always did, but,
Well, I mean, it's, if you read it, it'll say the 16th of October, so, whatever.
so I'm gonna recuse myself from this matter
All
because
right.
I am a
5
direct
past,
abutter.
if you wanna take care of anything else.
I don't think I can do anything in 2 minutes. I can
Oh.
recuse myself in 2 minutes.
That's always fast, whatever.
Fast?
Well, that's good, then we can move on. Yeah. That is fast, though.
Okay,
Today's the 7th, 6th.
yeah, I don't think I can do anything in 3 minutes.
Okay.
So I'll leave it
So you can tell a story if you want for a
to
minute.
you. There's a draft, decision for this matter. Did the project proponent get a copy of that, Tom?
I emailed it to the attorney, yeah.
They're in your
You okay
hands.
with it?
Okay, Michael?
No, that's fine.
No, I did get, no, you gotta leave the room, can't talk about it. but-
Yep, bye.
So the public meeting, the public is still open, so we just,
Yeah, you just open the meeting up, like, just go call the opponents up.
okay, so,
You may say.
this is the continued public hearing for the applicant Joe Alcantara by Christopher Corain, 31 Ashland Road and 47 Main Street, for special permit on remand from the land court to construct a 6,000 square foot building to be used for storage and a roof structure pursuant to section 174-24C1 and 174-25G6 and 174-82A4 and 174.45.6 of the Mashpee zoning law. So, Chris? As I recall, the last time we were here, we had 4 or 5 conditions, and
Yes, I noted
that's
them
what
on the.
we're here to see tonight, right?
Yes, and I had the curveball thrown at me at the end of the afternoon by Ed. He said he was fine with everything, but he said, remember that I wanted a light at the gate.
Yes.
What I remember from the meeting and wrote down was they wanted a reflective sign or reflective tape. Right. Not a light.
I saw that in his note, yeah.
So what I wrote in was what I heard at the meeting, and that was the reflective tape or sign.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Attorney Christopher Corain representing the applicant, Joel Jinquera. And we're here from the continued meeting, was to allow some cleanup of the site plan. There were a few things that were noted on the site plan that needed to be cleaned up. One was we reduced the gravel area, so there's less pervious surfaces. So that was one request of the board. We removed any references on the plan to outdoor storage, so that's all been taken care of. We show the fence. They wanted to make sure that we showed the fence on the lot, on the site plan, so that's been done.
And it indicates the two different kinds of fence.
Right, and the two different-
Stockade in the front and the side, and the chain link in the back.
Right, exactly. And then there was, the building itself, there was still a reference to like the showroom area, where there's nothing like that is happening anymore. Basically, it's just a shell building with a bathroom, so.
Now,
so
you
we're-
all have a copy of both the site plan and the new architectural drawings. The site plan has changed quite a bit. They've moved the building away from the neighbor's property, and that allowed them to basically eliminate that gravel area. And you see the way it's set up.
And then, and I agree with Tom. I mean, my understanding was that we didn't want to put a light out there. It was, we didn't want light shining onto the neighbors, so reflective tape was kind of the compromise for, safety. So that was my understanding as well.
That's my memory,
Does the board have any other questions?
So the lighting plan is not what you had on the septic shop?
No, the lighting plan is exactly the same as it was, that's been proposed. What we're talking about was whether or not we needed to put a light over the
Yeah,
gate.
I know what you're talking about.
Right,
but
so there was a discussion about, well, do we need a light? Why don't we put reflective tape? If somebody's driving in and their lights are shining, they're gonna see it's gonna be the tape, and I thought that was kind of the compromise, as opposed to having to put another light out there.
Pretty sure that was Rob's idea.
Yes.
Right.
No, I don't. I had a question, though, on the site plan. The fence originally, or the gate, I should say, on the access road, was recessed closer to the center of the property. It looks like it's coming out pretty close to the end of the driveway. Whereas I believe the other location was so like a 18-wheeler could get in there and not obstruct the flow of traffic on Ashland. It looks like the gate won't accommodate that anymore.
Based on what I'm looking at, it does look like you would not be able to put a tractor trailer in that driveway area.
If they're loading cars on trucks and whatever, or trailers, I would think as you go in there, you'd want to get the whole rig off of the Ashmet Road.
Right. I think the theory now is that with the last proposal, you would have had tractor trailers that were coming from outside sources like Cape Cod Truck, where they would not have access to the gate, they wouldn't have a key. All the tractor would be by the owner of the property, so he'd open the gate. He wouldn't need to park there or wait. He'd be able to gain access, so.
And there's probably one car on the trailer, right?
Yeah, one or two, I think, at the most,
Most,
right.
because
Okay, is this,
Now, I did
Different
hear last time a motor home pulling a trailer with two cars.
I
It's
think that was right.
fairly long.
But again, he wouldn't be he wouldn't need to park that at the gate, because
There'd be no reason to leave
he'd
it
have a
outside
key
the
and an
gate.
access to get
There's
in.
no reason to leave it outside the gate. so-
Right, exactly. There'd be no reason to park outside the gate.
thank you.
Do we have any issues with the light, as far as Ed's suggestion? Or is that,
No, I'm fine with the reflectance.
I'm happy without the light because I've already got everything typed up for you to sign.
okay.
Can I go back, visit that gate at the end of the driveway?
Yep.
I mean, the diagram looks like it shows a fence, not a gate structure.
Well, the text says fence gate.
Fence gate, okay, that's, okay.
Karen, you got any other questions?
No questions.
No,
Anybody else?
no questions. Looks
I'm
good.
in the public.
I just have two things with the decision. One is just housekeeping. So.
Why didn't you tell me before?
I know, because I didn't realize it until I talked to my client. It's not a big deal. I mean, you could keep it the way it is. But the first line under, for Joel, that PO Box 560 is my address. It's not Joel's.
Well, that's the address that was on the application.
Right, because it's mine. His address is 53 Mercantile, Way, 6. So whether you want to change it or not is, up to you.
I mean, you filed the application, it doesn't even have his name on it, so.
Right.
I
It
think
doesn't, I mean, it's not a.
That's not a big deal.
It's not a big thing, but I just wanted to make note of it.
You're representing him, I'm sure you have authority to.
I do. So it's more as a housekeeping. It's not it's not material to the decision, so, but I just wanted to raise it. And then, the only other thing is, I see it in the proposal, it's not a condition. I hope that it would not be a condition. Right now, we were talking about maybe up to 15 cars, but I don't want to get caught in a position where if he has 16 or 17, if they fit inside, I just don't want to be necessarily limited to that. So I didn't see it as a condition, so I'm okay with it as written.
Yeah, where did you see it? As just a comment?
Yeah, it was just a comment in the proposal. It said intent is for private garage up to 15, so, again, I don't know that it's not a condition, so.
Well, you can only fit so many cars in there.
I know, but right, no, I agree with you, but if it's 17 or 18, I don't want somebody to come back to me and say, well, your decision says 15, but again, it's not a condition, it's just in the proposal.
I'm okay with that. We don't need a good plus or minus or something like that. I don't think that's important, do you? Anything else?
But otherwise, everything else looked fine.
We closed the public meeting before.
Yeah, we have to close the public meeting, but.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta comment
So
public.
you want to take public comment?
That's what I said, you got to ask the public.
Comments.
Public comment?
Right, any public comments at all?
Seeing none, I make a motion, we close the public hearing.
You hear a second?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Karen?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Aye, yes.
Rob, you got to vote on
All
this.
right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody's time and patience and working with the applicant on this.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Look, if you actually had your stamp, we could have got the signature.
Feels nice to do something. Feels nice to do something.
I'll start on this end.
This is anyway,
We can call Mary back.
yeah,
Maybe we should finish signing first, or?
We don't want to seeing us sign the thing, though. I said, we don't want to, seeing us sign the petition here,
She'll get a notice in the mail of the decisions.
yeah.
Is it warm in here?
huh?
Is it warm in here?
Yeah, it is.
Incredibly warm and humid outside.
Tom, could you bring that
Yeah, it's
temperature down?
82 in Boston.
Let Rob start.
Then if I open the door,
Well, I don't think it'll make
It's,
any
it's this time of year, it's kind of hard with the weather. 70 degrees today?
No, it's
So
crazy.
actually, we just need one member. Who wants to sign this thing?
Michael,
Vice Chair.
yeah.
Sign, represent, saying that this is what the board voted on. 'Cause
Where when
this
we
is one
sign?
where, right here, member, planning board duly authorized.
Write down what, remember?
Your signature,
Yeah, all right.
yeah. I'll have Debbie notarize that tomorrow, because the
You
next
just
thing.
need his signature?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, for this, I've got the plans I want
Yeah.
to
We
sign.
need, we
too.
need just one? All right.
Well, that's one, there's four. Pages and the other ones.
Where are we at
On here.
now? Old business?
Single-sided photo registry.
We added
Oh,
this.
we already did that.
We just, we did old business, we're on new business now.
Okay. Modification of conditions on Antunes Cluster Subdivision, special permit regarding ownership of open space parcel, proposed as minor change not requiring a public hearing. And I do need some of Tom's time.
There you are.
Tom, is
Finish the last one.
this their kids, her kids? Antone.
This is, well, the attorney is here that represents the owners, so, where'd he go? Oh, there you are. This is your applicant, basically.
Right, but I wanted
He's the
to,
sole trustee of the Antone Living Trust.
but I need to ask you a question before I recognize him.
Okay.
But I need you to be at a mic, so everybody, so take your time, and we'll just. Okay,
All right, I'm at a mic.
Okay, all right. So the chair asked the consulting town planner, okay, so this, you explained a little bit about this proposal and recommended that we don't, that we vote, that it's a minor modification, not requiring a public hearing. So can you
Exactly.
go into that a little bit, why you think it's a minor modification?
Well, because, I mean, it's just changing the form of ownership of the open space. That's the only thing it's doing. And I should say on top of that, the open space was never put into the proper ownership as was called for in the original special permit to begin with.
Okay.
So,
So is everybody fine with that explanation?
Yeah, yeah.
If so, I'll take a motion to do away with the necessity of a public hearing on this matter.
So me.
Second.
Or second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Never she used to come to meetings all the time.
well, she died.
Yeah. You know.
That's why, this is the last remaining survivor of the trustees.
Your mother wasn't, your-
Attorney Rapp.
Hi, so I recognize the project proponent.
Thank you very much. Madam Chair, members of the committee, my name is Stuart Rapp. I'm the trustee of the Ethylene Antunes Living Trust, and as Mr. Frudella said, Mrs. Antunes died a number of years ago. At her death, she left behind a piece of property known as Lot 8 Antunes Avenue. It's owned by her trust, and pursuant to the permit, the special permit that was issued to herself and her deceased husband, Mr. Antunes, it was required that 5.1 acres of this cluster subdivision that they sought and received approval for be conveyed into an entity that was never created, and that, again, the property continues to be owned by her trust. Beneficiaries of her trust are her living children. There are a number of them. And they've asked me to move forward and see what we could do to have that open space owned by Nature Conservancy.
Native Land Conservancy.
In fact, that's what
That's a
Mrs.
totally separate
Antunes-
organization, the Nature Conservancy.
Right. But a land conservancy is what
Yes.
Okay.
we're seeking.
Yes, that's,
Okay.
there's three options for ownership of open space in a cluster subdivision, both in our bylaw and the statute. One is owned by a homeowners association, subject to a conservation restriction held by a nonprofit land trust. The second is to deed it to a land trust, and the third is to deed it to the town. So none of those were done. It was kept in Mrs. Antunes' ownership and never deeded to a homeowners association, and never had the restriction put on, as far as I know.
That is correct.
And I don't know, Dennis, were you here back then?
Yep.
Mrs. Antunes was a
Remember,
very
she was
interesting
fighting for this.
character.
Yeah.
Okay, she thought we were stealing the land from her,
Yeah.
so you can see why this ended up this way. But the intent now is to sell it to a land trust, and in order to do that, we have to change that one provision as to going to a homeowners association instead of a go to a land trust.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay.
But that's the reason why I'm here.
And that, have you seen the proposed decision?
I have.
Do you have any amendments or comments on
I
it?
do not. I'm delighted with the wording that Mr. Fidella has come up with, and I appreciate his hard work to do so.
So, does any board member have any questions for the applicant?
No questions.
It's pretty simple.
Karen, you good with it?
You all have a copy,
Yeah, I got
by the
it.
way, of the
Okay.
Yeah.
subdivision plan, if you want to look at it. It's 11 by 17 folded.
Do you have any more further comments?
Not until you make a decision and I
Okay.
come around looking for signatures.
I'll accept a motion to accept this, to approve the special permit modification decision number 2 for the cluster subdivision Ethylene Antunes Living Trust as presented.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All right.
Now, some of these are double-sided.
Yeah.
No, you
One
don't,
page is
don't sign
double-sided.
those. No, I
Okay.
got single-sided ones here. You need to be single-sided to go to the registry.
Right.
Thank you very much.
I know
Madam
that much.
Chair,
All
members of the
right.
committee.
So we want to fill it out, so it's,
Don't fill
You
those
have
out.
the, all right, thank you. So those will get notarized. I believe they get notarized by the town clerk.
And then you'll send them,
No, it's single-sided printed.
Oh.
Double-sided copies there.
All right, bye-bye, thank you.
She was a nice lady, Mrs. Tatum. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna look for
She was
signatures
funny,
from all
too.
of you on this one.
She,
I'll
she
update it
fought with
tomorrow.
us. Yeah, because she thought we were stealing her land.
Notarizes that.
anyway, this has to be filled
Probably
in, though.
were.
Yeah.
Special permit by vote of blank in favor. So it would be, we didn't need a
Just lot
super
eight.
majority, we just needed
It was just
4,
lot
right?
eight, wasn't it?
Oh, it's,
A,
no,
it's
oh, yeah.
Lot A,
So it was 5 in favor.
5 and 0.
This whole thing, there's 5 of them.
regular. Yeah, it sounded like he said 8. But it's-
That change on the rest of them.
There's the color, yeah.
Where's my agenda?
Okay, first copy.
Hey, how many?
I don't know, they're coming.
4. There'll always be 4. It's going to the registry because, one for the registry, one for the town clerk, one for me.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute.
What?
5 in favor and 0 against.
Yeah,
It says 4,
it says 4 where?
unless I'm not reading it right.
Oh,
It's a big board.
I'll keep this as my scrap copy.
5 in
Okay.
favor and 4 against.
Sure I got this one right. Zero against. You know why the 4 came up? Because I was thinking about 4 copies. I was talking
Good.
about
Sorry,
4 copies.
sorry.
No
My
problem.
brain wrote 4 instead of 0.
That would have been funny, that means we would have had 9 people on this board.
Yeah, like the ZBA. How many people we got? What do we got at ZBA? 11? Is that the common?
I don't know if the BA has a lot, though.
I like 5.
5's a
There was
good
some
number.
charter review discussion about increasing the, and I'm like, no.
No.
5 works, like 5 just works. 3 is too little,
There you go, Tom.
It's always
5 works.
in the
5, it's the right magic number. For municipal government, okay. All right,
Okay.
next item, review regarding proposed replacement tree at 48 Gold Leaf Lane in Windchime Point
You have
condominium.
an email in your packet that I got today, or yesterday, from a fellow that wants a tree chopped down. One thing I will note, whether you're concerned about it or not, is that the tree they're proposing to plant, they're not proposing to plant anywhere near his condo. They're proposing to plant it out near the garage, which is like half a mile away.
That's okay.
And it's, that's okay?
Yeah, as long as they replace the tree, they don't have to replace it on their land, if they place it
Well,
on somebody else's land, they
It's
have to,
all condominium land, so it's not anybody else's land.
well, common space, yeah, common area.
Yeah, it's in a different area, that's all.
They can do it.
Yeah, it's in an area where they're already planting trees, so
They're just gonna add another one.
next year, yeah,
And what is it they're planting?
It's on the backside.
an oak.
Is that what that is?
Quercus is an oak, yeah.
Thank you. I was gonna have to look it
I
up.
don't know what a bicolor quercus is,
The
though.
quercus white color, whatever the hell that is.
And 3.5 to 4 inch, okay?
Well, we said at minimum
Quercus.
4.
Yeah, and then
Just wait,
Nobody seems to care.
wait a year, it'll be 4.
Well, I mean, they're not gonna plant it until next year.
Right.
Right.
Talking about 20.
By then, it'll be 4.
Yeah.
So I think that, I'm fine with accepting it as long as they provide, you know, documentation that it's planted at the time of
So you'd have to
planting.
diary it for next year to follow up on it if you don't get a letter or something.
Yep.
I'll be gone, so I don't care. Dennis will have to take care of it.
yeah, I'm the tree guy there.
So I'd accept a motion that we approve this, provided that they provide us with documentation of the planting.
So be.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Did you have something to say?
Well, I just think they should say, tell us about when they're gonna plant it, what month, and so, you know, somebody can make sure they follow up on it.
Is there
They're
anything
very
mentioned
good.
in that email?
They're really great.
Oh, it's gonna be planted next year.
Does it say
Yeah.
any more detail about when?
No, just by the post office, yes.
They're gonna plant it in the spring of 2025. It's a 3-month period. Do you want to make an amendment to that condition?
Yeah, that, to amend it to say that they will plant it at the proper time, most likely in the spring of 2025, and give us notice thereof.
Do the people that made the first and second accept that amendment?
Yes.
Will somebody second that amendment?
Second.
All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
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 I'll just send an email back to the people that sent this email saying that, give us proof when you plant it. I don't know how we're gonna tell it from the other trees that they're also planting in that very same area next year, but, again, that's your problem, not mine.
Oh, I planted it, it's over there, right in there.
And we have to assign someone from the planning board to go out when they plant it, that's all.
Oh, yes. I'll assign
Well,
you,
that'd be Dennis.
Dennis.
Right,
Okay, amendments to zoning,
I still need signatures, and Mary, you can like close your eyes or something, but I still need signatures on the plans, the approved plans for the first public hearing item. So. we wanna
Okay,
leave
do you want to set them up on the table and people can go up? And I'll just cover this one, amendments to zoning bylaw, including raise and replace and review of ADU bylaw. So, in lieu of you can just, yeah.
Where do you want them?
You could put it right here.
So anyways, so the ADU bylaw, I'm gonna write an email to Rodney. My last meeting with him, I forgot to ask him for time from KP Law to review our bylaw to see if it's in compliance with the Affordable Homes Act.
All right.
That was passed. It's a state statute that specifies certain things about the ADU, I don't know, zoning for ADUs. So I will do that. I still want to work on the raise and replace bylaw. Is it John Malloy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, he was here earlier, so I told him, we had that workshop in June. They promised to give us
Okay.
a draft bylaw
Yeah.
change from Bob Orsi. So I said, I don't know if you know Bob.
I know, Bob.
So Bob supposedly has some type of a draft. So
Maybe Mike can follow up and see.
Michael,
I can follow with Bob, sure.
yeah, because if they're serious, now is the time. I need to give you guys a package
Yeah, so we can,
next week.
Yeah, I'll follow up with Bob.
Okay. Would you be available to look at that, or are you done?
I'll be meeting with the town manager
Okay.
tomorrow on my last day. Talk about extending.
Okay.
Mary, I'm
So-
sorry, I was looking at
Okay.
this. What,
So did you catch all?
no, I didn't
I
catch
know.
it.
Well, just
I'm
keep
just-
passing it over there, that's all.
Sorry, I was worried about putting it on the third line.
So did you hear the update about the ADU?
You want to follow what the state is saying.
Right, we have to bring our bylaw in
Yes.
compliance with the
So
state
KP
statute.
will
So
do
I
that.
have not asked for KP Law to look and analyze our zoning on that. So I will put in a request for time with town council.
Okay. And what was the other thing you said?
So regarding the raise and replace bylaw, in June of this year, we had a workshop, and we had a very draft bylaw that Evan had
five there.
produced.
Right.
I'm still interested, because we're gonna bring something
Oh,
with the ADU.
4 copies,
I am still interested in bringing something forward in February. So Bob Orsi from that neighborhood supposedly had a draft suggestion, right? So I'm trying to get that for us to look at. I
I gave it to
did
Dennis.
get a phone call
This is
from,
the architectural plans, they didn't do a signature, we just approved, Mashpee Planning Board, the date.
Anywhere in
and
here?
Your signature, yeah, just need your signature. So the building inspector knows that's the right one.
So
I
are
did
we
get,
going to be looking
I
at,
did get a call from the building commissioner's office, and I did talk to the building commissioner. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to get something, and then we'll workshop with you and the ZBA. And so they're on board to workshop with us.
No, good.
I got a call from Mary Ann
Yep.
about that this afternoon.
You want me to put the word,
What did Mary want to do?
you want the word approve in there, or
Yeah,
just?
approved by Mashpee.
So let's go forward.
so we're going to be looking at Evan's last draft and look
Yep.
at Bob Orsi's draft and see
Yep.
what we can put
Need to
together.
buy, yeah.
But it'll be,
Drafts of what?
We're talking about amending the zoning bylaw section, raise and replace.
Oh, was there a draft?
Yep.
Okay, I've not seen that, so.
I will make sure everybody involved sees it. But I
you know,
would like,
it's really complicated. I mean, do you think KP can do it, really do it quickly? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I haven't, so I was gonna have that KP Law look at ADUs,
Yeah.
okay? If Mr. Fadala here gives us more of his time,
Did it? Oh, you okay?
I don't give anything, I only do this for money. I'd rather be in the Caribbean.
All right, so what are you saying, Mary?
so we're all set with the ADU, right?
Yes.
Okay, there's no more KP Law involved. So, what I'm trying to do is get us back on track to have something to the Board of Selectmen by February for the raise and replace, okay? We had our workshop in June, I'll get everybody the minutes. We had a very draft bylaw from Evan,
All right,
so I'll make sure you have that. I was also, when I was leaving that workshop, handed a 6-page document from the PBA. Subcommittee, I'll get you all that.
Okay.
I was also promised from a resident or a property owner there, a draft amendment to the zoning bylaw for us to look at.
You mean an additional one other than Bob Orsi's draft?
No, that's Bob Orsi's.
that was Bob Orsi.
So that would be the 4th item,
Yeah.
okay? If our town manager can negotiate an extension of the contract with Tom Fadala for our consulting town planner, then we'll have some time with him to do it. Otherwise, we will either get KP Law to help us through it, or I have been in touch with a retired town planner from Dennis, the town of Dennis. Name is, it escapes me right now. Dan Fortier. So I talked to him, he does not live nearby, he lives in Madison, Wisconsin.
No,
Oh, give me a break.
Oh, I
But-
think we need something local.
But he said that he could remote in on something like planning. He
I
couldn't,
told you I could write it in 5 minutes. as
I
long as
know,
figured
but
out
you're
what you
giving me a
wanted
hard
to
time
say.
committing to it, so I'm scoping out, I want you to be involved in it. But anyway, so that's my plan.
Okay.
There you gotta figure out what it wants to be, and if you're gonna be meeting with the ZBA, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of back and forth and who
Well,
knows what-
we're gonna get to a point where we have consensus on something, and then we'll workshop with the building commissioner and the ZBA and see how it goes.
Okay.
I mean, that's how democracy works, so. Anyways, trying to get that back, okay. The other thing I'm trying to get back on track is the HPP. Okay, can you give Karen a copy?
I got it.
You have it?
You gave it to me. Thank you.
Oh, okay, so, do you want a clip or a staple?
No, I'm good. This is
Okay.
fine.
Okay. So I spoke to the town manager. I said, would it be okay? I think Rob, oh, good, thank you. I said, would it be okay if the planning board spearhead the final comments on this plan? So this plan was written. The process is now it has to have a positive vote from the planning board and a positive vote from the Board of Selectmen. So, he said, fine, yep, we could spearhead it. Check with Carol Sherman, who's the chair of the select board. So I talked to Carol, she says, fine. She's fine with us spearheading the edits that have to go in here in order for it to pass the planning board and the select board. So what I told her I would do was incorporate the public comment that did not make it into this plan when we saw it before.
By the way, I first saw
So
it
I
today and I
want-
started marking it up myself,
Good.
so.
So,
You have a written public comment? Do you have it, was it memorialized?
well, we made, yes, okay. Yep, there
Yeah, I
were, there were
was
public
there, but-
comments.
Yeah,
There were public comments, and I can get you the minutes of that meeting, if that would help you.
okay.
Are they in the back of that document?
I
thought
didn't
there was
print them, I
reference
didn't,
to
the
public
whole-
comments being in there in the,
the whole thing is 300 pages. So I didn't do the survey and the public comments. I will if you guys, oh, do you have them?
oh, so you didn't print them out?
No, because I've printed this out for everybody like 5 million times. Okay.
Oh,
Is that bound?
I just printed it out and bound it this afternoon and started reading it before the meeting.
Okay. So, the appendices, there are written comments, right? And then, do people want that printed out for them?
Well, it wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Now, the document is online on the town website.
It is. And that, I believe I sent you the link,
That'd be easy, just go online then, right?
okay? Yeah. So,
Save from printing.
so I can get you the minutes of our last, okay? The letters that were written in. Do you want the survey results?
Yes.
Okay.
We're talking about 300 pages?
Well, yes, it doesn't matter. I mean, I didn't print it out because I wasn't sure anybody would be interested in it, but I made a mistake. Sometimes I print out everything and people are like, I'll never read this.
Can you send it electronically?
Yes, yep,
You probably sent it before, but
Karen,
I will send it again.
just start reading early, that's all.
The website, town website, I think.
Yeah, no, I will send the link, and I'll send you the link to the,
What's the deadline on this?
Tuesday.
There's no deadline when you get
there
done
is no
with it.
deadline.
Well,
I'd like
what
to,
is- what is
I'd
your
like to get it
Proposed
done.
deadline?
should about
I'd like to get it done before the data and the opinions go stale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd like to, look, I've redlined mine. Okay,
Is
for
that the
example,
red line version that's on the website?
no, I took this and I redlined it into something that I believe will pass both the planning board and the select board.
You're saying it wouldn't, oh, well,
Oh, so we can't see
So, for
that.
example, OSID, when you read about OSID in here,
yeah.
it's like villainized. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
if you
yeah,
read
sure.
it again and again and again, it's like somebody really had a beef with OSID. You know, you want to change OSID,
Of course.
you want to change OSID so that it's more workable. Okay, that's all you need to say. You don't need to have it in here 5 times. Like, it's gonna ruin the town. I mean, it's awful. So that needs to get,
There's also the statement that the town has no mandatory affordable housing requirement.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah,
yeah, there's also.
A subdivision
Yes.
that's less than, I mean, a subdivision 10 units or more, or OSID
They also talk about
development.
that affordable housing is needed in the range of over 80% AMI, right? But when you look at the data that they've presented in this document, it doesn't show that. So for that to remain in this document, the CHAS data does not show that people that make over 80% AMI have housing problems here in Mashpee.
Well, they use the, I mean, I've just read the beginning of it, but they use the thing that, well, the average house in Mashpee is $700,000.
it's wrong now,
And the,
900 and,
the person making median income can only afford 400,000. So they
Well,
call
they
it
have to,
$300,000
they have to prove
affordability.
that to me, that I have to go up to 200 AMI for stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's not in here. They didn't prove it to me.
I mean,
So-
does that count towards the state's goal? I mean,
No.
we can't get on the SHI list if it's.
That's the
over
other thing. Do
80%.
we wanna do only, you know, what goes on the subsidized housing inventory? This housing plan was more like the chapter for the LCP than an HPP for the state. It went beyond the minimum requirements required by the state, and that's why there was so much grief over it. It also started to talk about modifying our wastewater, plans.
Well, it doesn't even recognize that we have a plan. It keeps talking about the town will have to develop a plan. We developed and had the plan approved in
Right.
2015.
It also did not recognize that one of the barriers to meeting our affordable housing goals is our polluted waters. It
none of this
doesn't,
is in there?
it doesn't say that.
Okay.
It says things like, well, we don't have enough infrastructure. It like glosses it over. It doesn't say this is a problem.
Oh, and it talks about amending the wastewater plan to,
Can you?
That was-
coordinate with Evan's
That was,
goals.
somebody people did not like that, and people commented on it. And then when the planning board and the select board had that joint meeting, remember? Andrew Gottlieb got up and said, this is a problem. So,
Would it be helpful to us, because we're not as knowledgeable as you and you are on this? If
I
you
just
gave us-
started reading it today. I mean,
If you gave us your red line stuff.
okay, do you
So-
want me to work with Tom on a red line
Yeah.
version? Okay,
Yes, that would be helpful.
thank you.
And we could think about whether this makes
That's
sense.
a great idea.
Sounds good.
That's a great idea. And
I just-
it's very close.
Yeah, I
I mean, you're not
clarified
gonna we're not gonna be editing the market study or all the data. It's the action steps near the end.
I haven't even got to those part, but I mean, on the website where I got this document at the bottom, the one above it says redlined copy. Whose red line is that?
So,
Website says that?
On
so
our-
what
on our
happened
website,
was,
yeah, It's got the whole series of version and documents
so every time
with this.
there's a plan, and then there's another version, right? Because you get comments, people add things, people take things out. You're supposed to redline it, so that when you go to read it again, you're not reading it from scratch, you're just jumping to the redlined areas, okay? So this was extremely difficult for me to get redlined versions, like as it changed. So I demanded a redline version of the final
Final.
May 6, 2024, that came to the the joint meeting of the planning board and select board. That's why you see two versions.
So is that
One
what's
is
in-
red-
on the website? That
One is
red
redlined, and one has all the red lines accepted.
Which is this document, it's the
Yes.
in giant letters on the bottom, it says, final affordable housing.
Yeah.
Plan. I don't, why do they take the word affordable out of it? It just says housing production plan, I mean.
Well, a housing production plan is the technical word, the technical title.
It's a
this.
stressful term, though. I mean, I thought we were trying to create affordable housing, and
That's the state's term.
plenty of people are ready to build houses.
But the state regulations are for affordable housing. You're right. Do you want us to put the word affordable housing back in there?
Should be, I think it should be.
Okay. I am so done with this plan. So anyways, like, I want it done in 2024. I do not want to have to deal with it. But Tom and I can get it to we can get it to a place where I'm confident that this board and the select board will be happy with it.
Okay.
All right? Onward.
So either we get it done tomorrow, or
Or I'm doing it solo.
be willing to stay another month.
Just start tonight, Tom, that's all.
Start tonight.
I did start tonight. I've started
Night
marking
is
up.
young, it's only 8
It's young,
o'clock.
you got plenty of hours left.
We know where you live. You're so bad.
Put that in the minutes.
All right.
So that'll start tonight.
So is everybody good with that, or have I
Yep, yep.
confused the heck out of everybody?
That's a good plan.
Okay, thank you for getting me through that. All
I
right.
like that everybody likes the fact that they don't have to work on it, it's just me and Mary.
Yes.
That was an easy vote.
Oh, and Lynn will volunteer. Yeah,
She's done.
Lynn proofed it and was like, whoa. Anyways, I have your notes. All right, board engineer report, nothing from Ed?
He's in some other town.
Okay. The chair's report, all my activities were on the agenda, so no special report on that. Town planner report?
Yes,
Okay.
I think I told you last time that apparently you amended your special permit and subdivision regulations back in 2022, but the amended version never got put online. And by the way, I've tried to do that, but it's impossible because what's online isn't even the whole subdivision regulation. It leaves out all of the plates at the end, and that's a critical part of it. That's what comes up when you do and it's a 2021 version. And the change that you did was you put in the language about, where is it? We've got, there's a little bit of, a couple things to get, yeah, this thing. So this is a letter you got from Evan in August of 2022, and it's got his version of, on the bottom of it, of the language to bring the account back up to 2,500, I mean, up to $5,000 when it gets less than 2,500. So, I mean, if that's what you did, and I think the minutes reflect that, the next thing you have is minutes. Mrs. Blockton made a motion to amend the Mashpee rules and regulations to cover this subdivision of land, section 13 fee schedule, as described by the town planner. So I'm assuming that means what he had in his letter is what you mean by as described by the town planner, because he never put it into an actual version of the special permit regs or the public subdivision regs. But
I'm
in
completely
looking at it-
lost.
Are you saying that this is consistent with what Evan wrote? This paper here on the fee schedule?
That's
Okay,
it.
but that is Evan's letter.
It is evidence.
This is it?
That's
But there's-
Evan's letter, yes, but I don't,
I
from the
see.
minutes, I'm guessing that you approved what Evans suggested.
I do recall something to that effect.
I do too.
Do you? Yeah,
I don't know, I do recall the discussion we had, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And so, while looking at it, there's a couple of things that I think need further change.
Okay.
One of them is that the funds will be drawn down at a rate of $160 an hour. It was just 2 years ago, but Ed's charging you $190 an hour now. So, I mean, it's sort of silly to have that 160 in there. I'm suggesting that you amend it further to just take out that rate and draw it down as the town is billed for consulting services or something like that. So which
You say
would
drawn
be
down at the
public
you say
hearing.
drawn down at the existing rate.
What's that?
Yeah, at
You
existing
say
or current
drawn
rate.
down at the existing rate, that way, whatever the rate is what you would do.
Right.
You know what, though, I mean, you can use this for somebody other than Ed, too, doing, a different kind of reviews, so, I mean,
Current,
I would try to leave it open, you know, not specify.
That's what I meant.
will be drawn down at the
190 or,
That's the existing,
Current or
current rate or
existing rate.
existing rate, that way, whatever the existing rate is what you would do, as compared, I mean, the problem is it's not
What-
accurate.
what is the basis
thing
for
is
the
that
existing?
refers to one rate, Ed's rate. What if you want to hire a consultant to work on traffic studies and all that other stuff?
Okay. So what we need to do, I think that's, you should work on a change for that. Are we,
Yeah.
is there any other change you feel we should have?
No, it's just that while I was struggling, and I still haven't figured out how to amend the 21 one to the 22 one, to maybe a further one, might want to consider making that additional change to it.
Okay.
What's the basis for the rate? Is it a market rate? Is it,
It's whatever Ed asks for.
We put
and-
out a
and-
bid. We
Yeah.
put out a bid. We got quotes back. We interviewed the two
Yeah.
groups that offered
Not
engineering
adjusted for
services.
inflation.
And I think it was an RFP.
Yeah.
And we rated Ed Pesci higher than the other. And then the chief procurement officer dealt with the price proposal and negotiated the rate. Okay? I think since then it got negotiated again.
Who's he negotiating with? Because he works for you. He's the planning board consulting engineer. He doesn't work technically for Rodney. Well, Rodney needs to sign off on contracts and things like that, but I mean,
That's what I recall. I don't recall discussing the price proposal. I remember
well, not
interviewing
originally,
them.
but I mean, there's
Rob,
somebody,
what do you
No,
remember?
no, I,
minutes or something.
when
Evan tells you he's up
when rates
190.
float or can float over time, and there's something, at least on my expense accounts when I used to work, it was always, the rates were based on actual and reasonable.
yeah, there's a phrase there.
Yeah, there's a phrase there that's actual and reasonable, so to be drawn down at a rate that's actual and reasonable.
Well, then you're
And
gonna
that-
get into an argument with Ed, because he just said, my rate's now $190, and that's what he's getting.
Well,
Is that
yes,
reasonable?
well, anyways, we were involved in choosing,
No, I
in
know.
rating. We did not negotiate the hourly rate.
Yeah, I think that was just between him and Evan.
I don't know. I don't know how that happened.
In any case, that's what he's getting paid now, so that's why I'm suggesting just take out a reference to a dollar figure
Okay,
there.
I think we
At today's
should,
market, $5,000,
So-
$2,500 is small too, very small.
to make that amendment, the fee schedule, you have to schedule a public hearing. Okay? Is there any
Yeah,
other,
and it'll be both the special permit regs and the subdivision regs.
and you can work on those amendments?
Oh, public hearing, I mean, who
By
makes
law.
the determination what the?
We do, but we
Planning
have
board
to do
does.
it
It's
with a
your
public hearing.
regulations.
We have to allow the public the opportunity to make comment on them.
Don't you need an expert kind of who knows the market rate or what is,
No?
no?
No, you
Apparently,
procure that.
We're
you
we're
proc-
eliminating
you
the dollar
procure
sign,
that.
so.
Yeah,
They
and so what
needed an
Tom's
expert when they
saying, that
started
we
giving
can't,
Ed
we
90
should get rid of that
$190
rate.
an
I
'cause it-
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably too low and,
Oh, it's much too low.
yeah.
Oh, it's too high.
okay.
I'm gonna ask for more money tomorrow, because, I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
he's getting
Rodney,
190 and
heads
doesn't
up.
show
Okay.
up.
Yeah, in your case, it's much too high. We're
All right.
talking
Oh,
about
I
this.
Move on.
see, yeah.
So when can we have our public hearing?
Well, it's gonna have to be posted, you know, so it would have to be this, what's this, the first meeting in November? It could be the first meeting in December if I get it out there.
How's that? What day is that?
December 2nd, I think, is your first hearing in December.
December 4th. So I'd entertain a, yeah, it's 2024.
December, what?
It's December 4th, so I'd entertain a motion to set a public hearing regarding subdivision rules and regulations fee schedule and, is there something else?
Special permit regulations. fee
And
schedule.
special permit regulations for, December 4th at 7:10.
So
So
be,
moved.
Well, who
Okay.
comes, Okay,
So I-
Doesn't matter, by law, by statute, we have to have that.
okay, but who comes in and makes the determination? I mean,
You
does
do.
the building
You do.
commissioner
Planning
come in
board
and say,
does.
oh, that's a good filing fee? Who's gonna say, I mean, maybe you guys know what a filing fee should be, I don't.
Well, this isn't the filing fee, this is
No, you're
the
just
peer
complaining about
review fee for
This,
the
just this one thing,
building engineer,
just this thing.
the $5,000 one. You have filing fees too, as you can see on that
Are-
page.
Yeah, are those
200
current, or those,
I will do a fee study,
change in years.
okay.
okay? I know how to do that.
See, this is all different from when I left, because, I mean, Charlie always gets paid out of the planning board budget. You have a $20,000 line item to pay, Ed, but you're not using it.
All right.
They can use
Okay.
it for somebody else.
I think I know somebody that just did a fee schedule survey. That's why I'm volunteering.
good.
But again, we're not talking about setting the fees, we're
We
talking about
might.
taking the number out of this
Right, but we might adjust the
regulation.
fees
and
also.
You can talk to Ed separately from that, but this is just about taking out the number.
But we might look at the fees as well.
Yeah, that's separate from your public hearing on changing your regs. So you can do that anytime.
Okay. That's great. I've lost my agenda. What are we up to?
Board member reports.
Board member committee reports, right at the bottom.
Okay, Cape Cod Commission in your packet. There is this notice.
The big orange thing.
Okay, and that's Wednesday, November 13th at 5:30. I'm gonna go. Excuse me. Okay, so that's next Wednesday. So I'm gonna go to that and let them know what remember we took a vote to say that we recommend that any housing, community land trust or housing land bank, before they cite, a project in a community, they need to have an approval from the host community. And I'm gonna say it should be the select board, or the, in the case of Barnstable, the council. And so I will present that comment there as your chair. So if anybody wants to come, that'd be great. And then there's something in here about a virtual public hearing for December 2nd at 5 o'clock regarding the Evergreen Circle pickleball.
All right.
And that's the Cape
Oh,
Cod
have you
Commission.
scheduled that? No, oh, no, that's their hearing, commission, right,
They're here.
never mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Charter Review Committee meets next December 2nd. And we are starting to vote on things. Oh, and I brought the comment about being able to serve on more than one. Okay, so this is the compromise we have. Provided there's a vacancy of 6 months on a board or committee, right, then an elected official can be appointed to fill that vacancy.
Good.
That's what really
Good.
destroyed the committees, when the elected officials all had to get off. Dennis had to get off the sewer commission. Stay on the
Okay,
planning board.
so, yes, I got a lot of homework from the charter review meeting.
There's been a lot of
Everybody had big ideas, but nobody
Charter.
wanted to redline it, so I got, and the chair wasn't there, so I got stuck with a lot of work. Okay, Community Preservation Committee, we have received applications. They would do November 4th. Lynn is on the committee. I forget, they would do this week.
CPC is either the 14th or the 21st, and it conflict in my calendar.
But we received applications, right? 4. So I will get them to you for you to look at and make comment on. Design review.
Nothing right now, something's coming up in 2 weeks. I feel like the Maytag repairman.
Plan review. Nothing. Environmental Oversight Committee. Oh,
Nothing, you're still waiting on Lois.
I have a sample RFP
Yep.
to publish, to procure an engineering, our consulting company to do that, to help with that. Historic District.
No meeting.
Okay. Anything on the correspondence?
No, you've already dealt with Attorney Rapp and the Anton's
I'd
thing,
accept a motion to adjourn. if
Discharge
this-
Make a
monitoring
motion to
for
be adjourned.
Southgate Village, 3.6 nitrogen.
All in favor?
Everybody ready to adjourn?
Oh, yeah.
If you're ready to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
All the other things that are listed there from the Cape Cod Commission, the dates have already passed.